Hi, Facebook. Good morning. And I'm doing this video live for LinkedIn as well as for Facebook. And obviously, I share it as well on my Instagram. So, good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Ava Eva Brown. I'm a book, business, and life coach. And lately, I've become an executive coach, which is really exciting and something that I've always wanted to do. So this morning I thought I'd come on Facebook here and I will do a piece around some things that I learned when I was invited to go and see Steve Harvey. And a number of you know that I saw Steve Harvey in Atlanta a few years ago when I was invited to see him at one of his events. So, first of all, I just hope you're well. And I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope all is well with you. I hope you're living in a faith. I hope you're living with your energies really high because now is a time when all of us, more than ever, need to understand the power of what we have and the power of who we are in the world. Some of you might be asking, why am I dressed up so much this morning? Because generally, I'm a very comfortable, casual girl around my house. I actually had a meeting in Boston that was scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning, and then it's pushed back to this afternoon. And I thought, why waste an outfit? I got dressed up for the meeting, and I haven't put on a jacket in a year plus. So I'm just really feeling, quite nice. We miss that. I miss putting on nice clothes and feeling dressed up for an occasion. I dress up for my meetings, but I generally am a little bit more comfortable. But today I am dressed up. So I wanted to talk to you about those two things this morning because I really think it's important that we understand that as human beings, as business leaders, there are things that we need to understand in order for us to grow, in order for us to be at our best game, in order for us to be at our highest selves. And Steve Harvey invited me to Atlanta, I think it was 2016. I went to his event called Jump, a fantastic event. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I was a VIP invite. Flew to Atlanta. It was great, all expense paid. It was an amazing journey. And when I sat at the front row, so I was literally at the front row, yes, I was. And in the conversation, Steve Harvey came up, and I love Steve Harvey. I just love his idea of jump. Jump is great. You have to jump in order to succeed. And he said two things that reminded me. They were not new for me, they were reminders. And one of those things he said that you have got to jump. You have got to jump. That if your parachute is to open in your life, you've got to jump. So you guys have heard me talk about jump all the time. Jump is something I'm famous for talking about. I have jumped a number of times in my own life. I've had to jump. I've been forced to jump. I've had no choice but to jump. So all of you guys know that I have had to jump in my life. So what I'm telling you is not something new. What I'm telling you is not something that I have made up or I'm just reading from a textbook. What I'm telling you are things that I have had to do in my own existence, in my own life. So the first thing I want to say to you is that you have to jump. The second thing that what I want to talk about more so this morning is not about jumping because a number of you have already jumped. I want to talk more about the fact that apart from jumping, there are some things that we need to know as a leader, as an entrepreneur, that we're going to have to actually start implementing in our lives in order to succeed, in order to be at our best, and in order to thrive in this environment. And one of those things, I'm trying to get my camera together. And one of those things, guys, is that you are going to have to understand that no, the word no, you're going to have to understand that no is a complete sentence. Let me repeat that. You're going to have to understand that no is a complete sentence, that the word no really means no. And so many of us don't seem to understand that it's a complete sentence. We run into burnout, we're overdoing, we're always overexerting ourselves. We don't know when to stop. We don't know when to say no. And especially over the pandemic, I've had to say to some people that you have to understand that you're going to have to be gracious to yourself. Because if you're not gracious to yourself, then you're going to run into burnout. Because we're no longer in the regular phrase or framework of how we are accustomed to operating. We're in a framework of everything is blank, it's a blank slate. We have to be thinking on our feet like we've never done before. We've had to be improvising and pivoting. And so trying to be all things to everyone like an octopus, where we have to stop and realize that, especially right now, and even a year from now, we're going to have to start literally being gracious to self. And being gracious to self will mean that we're going to have to say no sometimes. You know, people come to me and say, Ava, can you speak? Can you do this? Can you do that? And generally, I would say yes to a lot of things. But in the pandemic, I've had to realize that I'm not homeschooling. I'm not having my son at home all the time. And I have to be gracious to me. And I'm not as fully present to him as I should be, but I'm better than I would have been. And so I've had to recognize that I can't say yes to everybody, that I have to understand that I have to learn to say no. And for those of us who are afraid to say no, I want you to understand the examination of where does that come from? Where is your inability to say no thriving from? Where does that come from? Where in your childhood, in your life, were you just a pleaser and a yes person that saying no for you is challenging, saying no for you is difficult? Because the more you can say no is the more you can carve out time for yourself, the more you can literally understand the power of what you own. Your time is what you own. Your skills are what you own. Your persona, your environment, your space, you should be able to own those. And you should be able to only choose to do and say yes to those things that make you happy. In 2020, I made a vow to myself, and I'm so grateful that I've been able to keep it. I told myself that anything that did not feel good to me, the answer would have been, I'm not doing it. It's a no. No is a full sentence. It's a complete sentence. It doesn't need additions. It doesn't need anything else added to it. No more adverb, no adjective, no verb, no more noun, no more patois, no more whatever language it is. It doesn't need any more. No on its own is a complete sentence. The second thing I learned or was reminded of when I went to see Steve Harvey, which was such a blessing, was that because I'm a Christian, my faith is big for me. And so when I went to see Steve Harvey, he shared something. He shared the fact that God can do, right, more than, he can do exceedingly and abundantly more than we ask. And sometimes sometimes we don't remember that. And my Bible tells me that. My Bible tells me that God can do exceedingly abundantly above what I could ever imagine, what I could ever ask. And I'm paraphrasing. And so those are the things that I was reminded of. And I wanted to remind you guys this morning, for those of you who are in that space and that situation right now where you are worried, you are having anxiety, you are wondering how you're going to pay the bills. And I'm speaking to those of us who are of faith and even those who are not of faith, because I believe that everybody should anchor on something. My anchor is my source. My source is God. I want to say to you that one of the things that I am reminded of very often, and it goes back to biblical, is that the birds do not have to go out there and store up, and they don't have to go and, they don't go to work. I mean, they go to work, okay, they go, looking every day, but they can survive regardless. And the Bible tells me that the bird of the air do not have to worry. And I know that I'm above the birds. God created me higher than even the angels. And so because of that, as an entrepreneur, as a mother, as a single mother, as somebody who, has my own challenges, we all do, I am very cognizant and I'm very grounded in understanding that I don't have to go out there seeking and worrying too much, because God provides. And I'm not saying this from a point of view that people mustn't work. Absolutely not. Far from it. I'm saying it from the point of view that you should not worry, because what's worry going to change? There's abundance around you. The world has more than enough for all of us. And so if you sit in those two things today, I guarantee you that your day will be better. So what are you meant to say no to that you're struggling with? I hope this can help you. Saying no is absolutely a complete sentence. Being able to say no will free you, give you more time for yourself. What about saying no to something that you're really struggling to say no to? You don't want to do it, but you're afraid to say yes. Why not say no and then use that time to focus on just sitting in stillness and listen to your thoughts, hear your heartbeat? What about saying no and taking that 1 hour, half an hour and get a book and read? What about saying no and just stopping to see how have you survived the pandemic? How gracious you are. What about taking the time out to do a gratitude journal, a gratitude diary? Write down things you're grateful for, spend time with your family. No is a complete sentence. The second thing I want to say to you is to recognize that God can do exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ask. And so I don't know what you're worrying about in this season. We all have different things that are challenging us. Whatever you're worrying about, I'm here to say to you that worry is not going to change anything. So why worry? Focus your energy on the light. Focus your energy on good things, positive things always. You know, there are some projects that I want to do, and I have a project book. So those of you who don't know, I have a book, and I'm not going to show you guys too much. I have a project book. I put the things that I want to achieve in a book. I've started this last year, I think it was. We had early this year. And I literally put the things I want to achieve. And I need to go and start crossing some things off because I've already achieved some of the things I wanted to achieve. But I have a project, I have a book that I want to achieve. These are the things that I absolutely want to achieve, and I put them in this book. And for some of us, pandemic came and we stopped achieving. I was reading something today, and it was amazing how Iceland has opened up back for tourism, no mask. Texas is opening up. Several states in the US are opening up, no mask. And I'm saying this to say that there's so many people who had placed their dreams, their desires, and the things that they wanted to achieve on hold because we're in a pandemic. While others of us were busy building in the silence, in the dormancy, we were building. And so post-pandemic, we are ready to execute. As a matter of fact, there are a number of us who started executing in this moment. And so for those of you who are still in the phase where you'd stop planning and you stop hoping and you stop dreaming and you'd stop believing that we come to the end, I want to literally speak to your soul this morning and say to you, get up. It's time to rise up, because we're going to come out of this. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing under the planet will last forever. There's got to be an end. Change is the one constant thing that we're assured of in life, death and change. And so even the pandemic is going to have to change. Time will not stand still in this moment. So get yourself together. Start planning, start executing, start literally thinking about that business idea, that book you want to write, that school you want to go back to, the relationship that's dragging you, or whatever it is. I don't know. Everybody's stuff is different. But it's time to get your pedal to the wheel, if that's the right saying. If I can serve you as a coach, a mentor, an accountability partner in any way, helping you to start executing and saying no, because I say no so rapidly, like no, absolutely not. I can't do that right now. And I'm unapologetic when I say my no, because when I say no is because I truly believe that's the right thing to do in that moment. I can't say yes to everything. I can't. I'm getting older. I have children. Their needs are different. And I need time for me. So I'm not afraid to go and lay down at 10 o'clock and take a nap, or 1 o'clock and take a nap. Definitely not, because I'm being gracious to myself. So if you want to learn more about me, I am the CEO and founder of The Mango Girl. So please check us out, themangogirl.com. We have some amazing pamper stuff there for you this season. We have a Mother's Day sale on, so check us out. But also I'm a life coach. I'm a book coach. I'm a strategist. I help to change the mindset. I literally provoke you to change your mindset. I can be your mentor or your tormentor. And lots of my former clients will tell you, oh my God, she's tormenting in a good way. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for listening. Tag somebody, share this with somebody, because I absolutely believe that messages like these, the little tokens, the little nuggets that are literally buried in these things are ones that we need. So please, please, please. The word no oh my God, my thing. And so these are little nuggets that we need to share and share and share. So until such time, have a great week. I have a meeting to jump into, but I'm just so excited that I couldn't waste my clothes. I had to come here and share it. So have a great day, and I will see you guys real soon. Okay, guys, so have a great day. God bless you, and I will see you guys later. I need to know in the school because I've got to go, but if this helped you, please do let me know.